I think I messed up big time by not paying attention to where our taxpayer money is going. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? We trust our government to use our hard-earned money wisely, but sometimes, things go terribly wrong. Let's dive into some of the most glaring examples of USAID's missteps. Let's uncover the top 5 USAID blunders. First up, Afghanistan reconstruction. This was supposed to be a beacon of hope, a symbol of rebuilding a war-torn nation. But what happened instead? $145 billion spent, but what do we have to show for it? A lot of that money vanished into thin air, with projects left incomplete and resources squandered. Imagine what $145 billion could have done if properly managed. Corruption and mismanagement led to abandoned projects like unbuilt schools and a non-functional power plant. Next, Haiti post-earthquake aid. The 2010 earthquake was devastating, and the world rallied to help. But did the aid reach those who needed it most? USAID pledged $4.4 billion, but instead of helping Haitians rebuild, much went to U.S. contractors. This meant that the local economy didn't benefit as much as it could have, and many Haitians were left without the support they desperately needed. Take the Caracol Industrial Park, $300 million for far fewer jobs than promised, and poor conditions for workers. This was supposed to be a cornerstone of economic recovery, but it fell short. Then, Egyptian democracy promotion. USAID spent $65 million trying to fund democracy programs after the Arab Spring. The intention was noble, but the execution was flawed. Result? Arrested activists, shut down NGOs, and soured US-Egypt relations. Instead of fostering democracy, it led to more repression and strained diplomatic ties. Fourth, the Power Africa Initiative. This ambitious project aimed to double electricity access in sub-Saharan Africa, a region where millions live without reliable power. A $7 billion ambition to double electricity access in sub-Saharan Africa. But the reality? Critics argue much of the money went to bureaucracy, not actual power infrastructure. The people who needed electricity the most saw little change in their daily lives. Bureaucratic red tape and inefficiencies meant that the funds were not used as effectively as they could have been. This is a common theme in many of these projects: good intentions marred by poor execution. And lastly, Iraq infrastructure projects. After the war, there was a massive effort to rebuild the country's infrastructure. Over $50 billion was poured into post-war reconstruction. But many efforts, like the Mosul Dam repair, were abandoned or non-functional due to poor security and mismanagement. The people of Iraq were left with incomplete projects and broken promises. Many efforts, like the Mosul Dam repair, were abandoned or non-functional due to poor security and mismanagement. This not only wasted money but also left critical infrastructure in a dangerous state. These USAID failures highlight why critics argue that taxpayer money often gets lost in poor oversight and unrealistic goals. It's a pattern that repeats itself: grand plans that fall apart due to lack of proper management and accountability. Time for some accountability, don't you think? It's crucial that we demand better oversight and more realistic planning to ensure that our money is used effectively. Only then can we hope to see real, positive change from these aid programs.